Hello, boys and girls. Me, Mr. Morse again. I want to talk to you guys about how to do your project Satomer. Okay. So, first of all, let's go and take a look at the Satomer itself. Okay. So, up here is the essential question, but it could very well not be the essential question that you wrote with me. So, I'm going to write the one that I came up with Mr. Morris, pretending I'm a student. So, mine is why was the afterlife, capital A, important in ancient Egypt? Question mark. Okay, so now I have to go down here, and because I have why was the afterlife important in ancient Egypt, here I need to make it the afterlife was important in capital A, ancient Egypt, which I know I need to fix here, so I'm going to do that right now. Was important in ancient Egypt. The afterlife is important in ancient Egypt because, okay, right, I don't need this. Now I need to go and turn my subclaims into my thesis here. So let me go back to my subclaim question. How did the ancient Egyptians prepare for the afterlife? So I'm going to go here and say the afterlife was important in ancient Egyptians, was important in ancient Egypt because here of how they prepared for the afterlife. And of course, I have an and this is going to be red because that is my first subclaim. So let's make that red. And now this is going to be my purple because it's my second subclaim, but I never wrote a second subclaim here. I just did the first one, but let's pretend. And what the capital A afterlife was, period. Okay, so here is my thesis. The afterlife was important in ancient Egypt because of how they prepared for the afterlife and what the afterlife was. That is my thesis because this is my first subclaim in red, and this is my second subclaim here in purple. Okay, so subclaim's gone. Now here, I don't really need this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of this. And here's why I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of that because I have already written this. Remember, this is what we did here when we did our summary. So I'm just going to cut, okay, copy, and I am going to paste. And I'm going to go through and make this whole thing red. Okay? Because I've already written it. We're good. And of course, I'm going to get rid of all the highlighting because I don't need the highlighting. Okay, so there we are. I also don't need these underlined parts, so I'm going to get rid of the underlined parts too. You remember I put the underlined parts talking about where to lowercase the letters. Okay. And while we're at it, we had a 14. There's a 14. Okay. So I put that in there. But we need to cite. We need to explain in text citations where this information came from. I got it from Duxter's, I got it from Wondarium, and I got it from History Museum. So I can't just cut and paste these in here. That's not what we do. We actually have to write them in as duxters.com. So I'm actually only going to be putting this in there. And I'm actually only going to be putting wondarium.com in there. Okay. So here's what that looks like. So I'm going to start here. And I'm going to say, according to the website, comma, and then I'm going to write ducksters.com, comma, and I'm going to underline ducksters.com because that is the website. Now that is where I got the first part. And then, of course, I'm going to lowercase t because it's the middle of a sentence, lowercase t. According to the website, ducksters.com, And you know what? This next part is where I got my next information. So now I'm going to say in the website, comma. Now this is wonderium.com, comma. I am going to underline it. And I've also got to say, according to the website, I got to say right here, sorry. It says, okay, I got to do the same thing here, lowercase t. Go to the website. I'm going to say it states, just to mix it up. Now, remember, I have a third website. If you only used one website, you only have to use one in-text citation. I used three. So I have Ducksters, I have Wonderium, and now I have to do historymuseum.ca. So now let's go down here. In particular, okay, this is important because in the website historymuseum.ca, it says, and then I need to underline this because it's a website. Doesn't matter if it underlines it, that's what it is. Okay, now this is done. Okay, I have my three in text citations right here, and I'm going to go ahead and make that bold like the rest of it just because I can. Okay, now let's pretend I have a second one, which I don't, so I'm just going to skip this part. Now I'm going to go down here and write my conclusion. To conclude, and remember, it has to be something like my thesis, only not the exact same words. The afterlife was important in ancient Egypt because of how they prepared for the afterlife and what the afterlife was. Okay, so down here, to conclude, and I'm writing a conclusion, and I have to talk about this section, which is my first subclaim. So to conclude, the afterlife was a very serious, is that right? No, there we go. Thing in capital A, ancient Egypt. They prepared for it in various ways, comma, and then of course I'd write whatever my second subclaim is here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this because once again, I didn't do a second subclaim just to save time. So now let's turn this thing into a cetomer. I'm going to get rid of this. Boom. I'm going to get rid of this. Boom. I'm going to get rid of the supporting idea. Boom. Get rid of that. Boom. I'm going to get rid of this. Boom. That's okay. Now let's go ahead and sharpen this thing up. This is going to be 14-point font. Good. I'm going to bold the whole thing because why not? I'm going to make the whole thing 1.5. And I just need to stack everything now. Okay. And let's go here. Okay. And oh yeah, I got to do this too, don't I? And I don't need this. So I'm going to get rid of the underlining here. Okay. So this is pretty good. Now remember, I would have a second subclaim, but I don't. So right now, this is what my Tacoma looks like. Thesis, blue. I got my first subclaim, red, and I got my second subclaim, purple. This, of course, whole red section talks about my first subclaim. And I have my in-text citations because I used 3 of them, and I got them, of course, from my notes here, and I plugged them in. I didn't hyperlink it and put Ducksters.com history ancient. Nope. I had to put down just the name, Ducksters.com. Okay. I got my conclusion. Wonderful. Now I have to do my bibliography. Here's how you do a bibliography. You go over here and you type in EasyBib right here, easybib.com. Then you go to create citation. It says, is it a website or a book or a journal? Well, you and I, we used either website or a book. Even if you used a YouTube clip, it's a website. So I'm going to go website. And the website I used, this first one, was this one, Ducksters. So I'm going to copy. Then I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to paste. Okay, so there it is, right from my notes. Right from here, I copied it exactly. I dropped it in where it says website. I hit search. It's searching, and it says, is this the one? Is this ancient Egypt? Is that the one? Yep, that's the one. I'm going to hit cite. It's going to go through and say, this is what it looks like. Yep, looks great. Okay, now don't worry about any of this. It's asking you to put the author's name. We don't know the author's name, right? It's Ducksters. So we're just going to move to complete citation. Okay, complete citation. Looks great. I now am going to hover over it. It's going to say copy citation. Boom. It says citation is copied. Okay, that's fine. As long as the citation is copied, I'm going to go here to my paper, and right where it says enter or attach bibliography, I'm going to hit paste. And there is my first one. Then, of course, I would go back. I would highlight the second one. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go back here. And I'm going to go to create citation. I'm going to go website. I'm going to hit that, paste, search. Okay. Arcadia, Australia. What is all this? Okay. This is the one right here. Boom. It's usually the first one. Okay. Book of the Dead. Looks great. Boom. Okay. Go down here, complete citation. Hover over it. Copy citation. I go here. I go back. And then I click and I paste. Okay. That's how you do the bibliography. Now, this is how you do your Satomer, and that's how you do your bibliography. All right. If you have any questions, please ask me, but this is what it should look like. Do not forget your in-text citations, and don't forget, according to the website, put the website, it says. Then here I have in the website, and I have it there. This is important because in the website, historymuseum.com.ca or .ca, it says, so make sure you put your in-text citations and you're good. Remember, you have to know what all this means, or you're going to get called out on the mat when you're presenting. All right, hope this helps. See you later.